What's going on, y'all? It's Athletes Culture again, coming at you with another video. So this Saturday, May 4th, 2019, Daniel Jacobs takes on Canelo Alvarez at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, this title fight is for the unification of the middleweight title belt, WBC, WBA, and I believe the IBF title. And this is going to be a very tough bout. I mean, it's not going to be an easy fight for either fighters, Canelo or Daniel Jacobs. But if I had to choose who I'm going with, I'm just going to say Canelo Alvarez is going to pull it out. I just feel like Canelo has improved vastly, immensely throughout all his fights since 2013 when he took on Floyd Mayweather, and the kid just keeps getting better. I mean, he had two very tough fights against Triple G. I believe he won both of them. That's just my humble opinion. I believe he won both of them. But, you know, still, he proved himself even when he took out Rocky Fielding, who is a super middleweight. A lot of people thought Canelo was going to struggle against a super middleweight. Rocky Fielding doesn't really have quite the name. Some may argue he's not the best super middleweight, and they could rightfully say so. But he took on a bigger fighter, and he beat him, you know. And I just feel like this is just a tune-up. You know, Canelo finally going out of the middleweights, you know, ending that. Unless there's going to be a bigger fight with bigger money, probably a Jamar Charlo fight. That could possibly happen in the future. But I think this is a great way for him to end the middleweight ring and step up against the super middleweights. But for Daniel Jacobs, I don't really see him beating Canelo, especially after watching his fight against Triple G. I mean, Triple G walked him down that whole fight, nearly shut his left eye. I mean, Daniel Jacobs, my fear against him with Canelo is it's more so his defense. He doesn't seem to be a very good defensive fighter, which is what you're going to have to be if you're fighting a fighter like Canelo Alvarez. Canelo throws great combinations, you know, to the head and to the body. So if you can't shield yourself, you know, protect yourself well against a world-class fighter like a Canelo Alvarez, he's going to put you to sleep. Period, point blank. He's going to end it. And I didn't really see that, you know, in Daniel Jacobs in his last fights. You know, it's particularly, I judge him a lot, particularly against the Triple G fight. Because, I mean, that guy was, even though he could switch to southpaw, you know, he's athletic and all that, that means nothing against, you know, a world-class fighter like Canelo Alvarez, you know. So it's going to be a very tough fight. The only way for Daniel Jacobs, the only way I could really see him pulling it out is if he boxes from the outside, defends. I mean, he just does a 360 difference in his defensive mechanism, just completely changes it, box Canelo from the outside, you know, and takes him to the deep waters of the fight. You know, don't front run, but take him to the deep end, and then from there, let's see what the judges do, because a lot of people were calling it out like, oh, there's going to be some funny business going on in Las Vegas. So, you know, as good of a fighter Daniel Jacobs is, he needs to show that. He needs to show that he's a good boxer. Box him from the outside and defend yourself. You know, a lot of people saying he's going to need the knockout, and, you know, I can't argue that. He may just need to get the knockout in order to pull it off. But I honestly believe if, you know, the Vegas judges are who they say they are, and a lot of the times they've been saying reports that, you know, this is going to be a whole new brand of judges. Not necessarily like they're going to be brand new, but these are more seasoned judges. If they are who they say they are, and they're going to call it fair, and there's going to be a level playing field, then I believe Daniel Jacobs can pull it out if he does that. But this whole video is about my prediction, who I got winning, and I just got Canelo Alvarez winning. I feel like he's just so skilled of a fighter. He's going to walk him down. He's going to take the fight to Daniel Jacobs. You know, he's going to want to get it in close quarters, you know, make him box in that phone booth. And when you do that against Canelo Alvarez, you know, if he got you doing that, Daniel Jacobs, it's going to be a long night. No athleticism, no size is really going to, you know, save you right there and then. But then again, it's boxing. Anything can happen. I'm just going to go off of the data, the stats, everything, you know, the history from what we've seen, and all that points to Canelo Alvarez. And I got him going in decision. I got it going 12 rounds of distance to decision. Daniel Jacobs has a very strong chin. He was dropped. Remember, when he fought Triple G, he was dropped in the fourth round. He was dropped in the fourth round. Came back up, you know, did his thing. It was questionable. He took some hard shots, especially in the ninth round, you know. It was tough, but then, you seen him, he finished strong, especially in that 10th and, 12th round. He finished strong in that fight, which is why a lot of people can make the argument that, hey, Daniel Jacobs actually beat Triple G. I don't see how they can make that. Triple G edged it out, but you can make the claim because of him finishing so strong the way he did. And it was not one of Triple G's best fights, let's be honest. But still, Daniel Jacobs put up a great performance, which is why he's one of the top ranked middleweights in the world. But moreover, him being the miracle man, I hope that miracle's there. The fan in me, the fanboy in me wants Daniel Jacobs to pull it out, pull the miracle. But I just don't see it happening against Canelo. Canelo's just too skilled of a fighter, too good. That, if he does not fine-tune his defense especially, Canelo may rearrange his kidneys and just put him out of his misery. So we'll see what happens. I want to hear what y'all have to say. Like, comment, subscribe down below. I'm out. Oh, and on another point, if Canelo does pull it out against Daniel Jacobs and he wins, which I believe he should, then I definitely think he needs to step up to 168. He will be doing his fans and especially himself a disservice if he still fools around at 160. Yes, there are some big names in 160, but you've beaten all the top middleweights at that point. So step up to 168, take on fighters like a Caleb Plant, a Gilberto Ramirez, a Caleb Smith, heck, even a Chris Eubank Jr. or a David Benavidez. Take on those fighters, unify those belts at super middleweight. Be the greatest champion that you can be, that you've always wanted to be. So I definitely want to see Canelo for his final 3 fights with DAZN take on super middleweights and win there. You've already taken on Rocky Fielding. Daniel Jacobs is a great tune-up fight for 168 with his size and athleticism, because that's definitely what you're going to be seeing, that type of size at 168. So for his next 3 fights, he needs to take on those type of super middleweights, go up there, unify those belts.